now that we have best of 5 rather than best of 1, you can kind of experiment with leaving something open. Like you can leave an OP pick open and go, can you play this? And can we beat you? Because if a team, for example, were to show like, hey, we have a strategy that beats Pantheon, we don't need to ban Pantheon, we can just beat him this way, then that might make other teams go, oh shit, we have to ban Pantheon against you because you're not going to ban it. Because even if like you can beat it, right? So that would be, that's something that I see is potentially interesting, at least in this first round. In a game 1, I think if you're going to do this, it has to be in a game 1, but you leave an OP pick up and see if you can contend with it in some other way. Maybe get an OP pick of your own out there. But I think other than Pantheon, there's really not too many that are like this highly prioritized, right?
Look, in the words of Darkest Dungeon, overconfidence is a slow but insidious killer. I don't leave Pantheon up. Don't do it. No, stop it. I see you, IG. Don't do it. I don't want to see. It's not worth it. It is almost never worth it. That bluff at this level of play, these teams are too good. You can get away with that against Clutch Gaming. You cannot get away with it against SK Telecom. Do not give Faker Pantheon, is what I'm saying here. I appreciate the idea. Maybe see, like, you could try to let the Kiana through, I guess. Like, even though that pick has been such an interesting flex, you know, that's the thing that I think we're going to see a lot more of, is looking at champions like the Tristana, like the Kiana, like the Kale, these like triple flex picks. You know, even Ezreal was played in the mid lane once in this main event group stage. Like, we are seeing teams with versatility take advantage of that. And I think that that's where you find room to play around. It's like, okay, well, what if we force them to play this in a different position, right? Like, we think they really want to bring Kiana to the jungle. Well, let's pick a hard Kiana counter in the jungle. Can your solo laners play it? That's something I would like to see, because I think that is an easier trap to pull teams into, because teams believe that they have these kinds of flexibility available to you, and you can catch them in a corner if they're not ready for that.
Right. Like, you can go, okay, well, you know, obviously you can play Kiana solo lane or jungle, but, you know, now that, especially that this is a best of 5 and we have a full week to prepare for it, we've done our homework, and your jungle actually kind of sucks on Kiana. So let's take really hard lane counters, and we'll force your jungle to play it unless you want an awful matchup in lane, and then we'll see how good you actually are on it. So yeah, that's where I'm really excited now that we have the best of 5s. I prefer League in a best of format. I don't like best of 1s. We were talking about this a little bit before the show. Like, I would much prefer to see group stage be a double elimination bracket where you seed all the teams. Even if you just seeded all the teams 1 through 16, but even if you're going to do this group thing, seed them, and then have it be so that, you know, 1 plays 4, 2 plays 3, winners play each other. Winner of that goes out, gets into the bracket, and then, you know, loser of that versus winner of the lower game gets out and into the bracket. I think that would be better, just because I think League, there's so much strategy involved with picks, bans, adaptation, that having those extra games to prove you really are the better team works. But I do think overall, like, maybe, I think, you know, other than maybe Fnatic, Royal Never Give Up, and I want to say Liquid in my heart, but I know I can't say it. Like, I think all the best teams did get out. So yeah, I can't really complain.
But it would have been better had we seen these best threes. Like, no matter what, like, the competition's better. There are a lot of things we can get into the format. Just because it's been a little long, I have said this on the GGWP, the podcast that I'm on. So, like, if you want to hear my thoughts on that, best of 3s are empirically better. I will say one more pick for people to watch: Twisted Fate.
Yes.
Banned 14 times. 14 bans.
Globals are so strong. Like, here's the thing, right? When you have that TF ability to just pop up on the map, like, oh, there's a fight that's advantageous for us. Oh, wait, TF exists, and you have him. Damn it. Like, that is a thing that does happen, and people seem to forget about it. And I mean, it totally makes sense to me that, you know, especially with some of the mid laners in this tournament, how good they are on that champion. Because, you know, TF, Ori, like, there's some champions that if you've been playing League of Legends for a long time, you have hundreds and hundreds of games on, like, period. Like, you've just been playing, because they've always been in and out of the meta, right?
Yeah. I think that there are certain teams that had it banned against them all the time, right? Because it only had a 30% ban rate. Like, most teams were not afraid of those globals, even though they are as strong as you noted. But Fnatic wasn't allowed to play that champ. Every team that played against Fnatic had that as a very early ban against them. So clearly, they think the Nemesis has a really good Twisted Fate. Do you think that who are they playing in the quarterfinals? They're playing Fun Plus. Does Fun Plus have a really great Twisted Fate counter? Are they going to be able to ban Twisted Fate 5 games? Probably not. So eventually, I think picks like that, like whenever you see it, like 100% of Fnatic's games, that pick was banned. 100, like people banned it against G2 a lot. Like it seems like these European teams scrim together and all seem to really enjoy that Twisted Fate pick, but no one else has done it. So either someone's going to learn it during this week-long break, or these are some pocket picks that Europe will come in. Baker played it once. He was the one who got, I think, a game on it. It was the only game that was played. It did well. It won the game. It wasn't the pick that
back
won
door.
It,
yeah,
that was
only at Worlds.
Only at Worlds, man.
All right. So let's hop into this first series. So the first series that we're going to watch is going to be Griffin versus IG. I think this is a really interesting series, but as the IG fan of the house, the resident IG fan right now,
terrified.
I'd like you're terrified.
I hate this so much. This is the worst. This Griffin team's really good, and they're really good in a way that's like the strengths and weaknesses of both of those teams are going to be really interesting to clash with. Because I think the Shy is just straight up better than the Sword. It's in Sword right now, 100%. The Shy's playing out of his mind. Sword still looks like a guy who I'm not 100% sure why he's starting over who they had before. Like they're still a little bit there. But Tarzan's better than whatever jungler we're going to throw out there. Rookie versus Chovy is going to be really darn close. And Viper is just so good in that bot lane. And Lance, too. Like, that bot lane's just more consistent. And I think that's the problem is, like, if IG's going to win, they're going to win because the solo laners were able to carry the day. But Chovy is still really good. And I think Tarzan could keep the Shy at least in check. And the Shy is someone who tends to play greedy. He tends to play aggressive. He always believes that he's the best player on the Rift. And that's exploitable. And Tarzan is a guy who can exploit it. Yeah. And if this game goes even into the 25-minute mark, I think Viper is more likely to take over a game than Jackie Love is right now.
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
Like, I think these teams are close. Like, I think from a talent perspective, like, these are both very mechanically talented teams with a lot of firepower and a lot to like. This is not a knock on IG. It's not even the reverse jinx that I will be accused of having this be. Though if it happens to work that way, I'm totally fine with it. But at the end of the day, I just don't think our jungles are strong. I say our. I don't think IG's jungle is strong enough that they're going to be able to carry the day against Griffin. I think this is a 3-2 in Griffin's favor. I think it's a close series. I think it's one of those. I always measure how heartbreaking a series is by how long of a walk I have to go on after to clear my head. Like the Falcons was a 5 miles and a snow loss after that 28-3. This would be a good couple miles just kind of shaking my head. But I think that's where we're heading. That's how this feels.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I had it at 3-1 Griffin because I kind of saw the same thing that you did with I think that Tarzan is probably just going to be camping up top because even though I agree, I think the Shy is a significantly better top laner than Sword. Which for some reason they're playing. I can't remember the other guy's name, but he was like seemed way more competent. It's killing me that I can't remember his name right now. But yeah, I think that Tarzan will be able to kind of keep the Shy at bay, maybe catch him out being a little bit too greedy. I think Chowie versus Rookie is going to be basically a wash, more or less. Like I think, they're both really, really talented players. So it's kind of a coin flip who comes out on top in that matchup. And the bot lane, like you said, Viper's just been so impressive this tournament that I think that ultimately you have to get the late game advantage with them. The only thing that I could see working really for IG in their favor is how Griffin really doesn't like to play very fast. Like they like to play very, very slow. And so if IG can kind of get an early advantage or two, and they can snowball that early game kind of out of where Griffin feels comfortable playing into the mid and late game. And, IG, I think, is a good enough team that if they do enter the mid game with a significant enough advantage, they'll be able to close out. But yeah, 3-1, 3-2, I think for Griffin is.
The Shy will have at least one game. The Shy's going to have one game where he hard carries.
Yeah.
I think Rookie has one game where he hard carries.
That's fair.
And I think the 3 games go the Griffins' way. I think that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, I can see you being right on that. But the thing is that this is probably the series I feel least confident in my prediction, because I feel like, the Shy or Rookie could easily hard carry 2 games. And then that's just.
Yeah, that would be great. I sure would like that. I sure would like to believe in that. I will say this. I didn't go into their series against KT Rolster in the quarterfinals last year feeling great. Like, a lot of the problems that I was pointing out here, I pointed out there as well. IG came at their best when best of 5s came around, and they were pushed to it. I sure hope that happens again. I don't think that it will. I don't think this team is as sharp as last year's was. I think they've been more inconsistent throughout most of the year.
Yeah.
But I sure would like to
be issues and
Rookie had a lot going on, and the
he looks really
stuff,
good now.
Oh yeah, I mean, I never had a doubt. Rookie's really, really good. I love that he's playing as well as he is, because he gets to start making an argument of where he ranks among the Chinese mid laners now, because I don't think Doinby has looked like the guy that we expected him to look like at this tournament. Knight is not appearing at this Worlds, and so that leaves Rookie. And Rookie right now, of those 3, is proving that on the biggest stage, on that international stage, he's the one that is living up to what we believe he is capable of.
Yeah.
That's going to be my propaganda for my IG boys. But I can't in good conscience make the prediction in their favor, but I sure hope I'm wrong. I really would love to be wrong.
Fnatic, Fun plus Phoenix.
3-1 Fnatic.
That's exactly what I have. I don't think Fun plus Phoenix is a good team. And I think that Fnatic is a super awful stylistic matchup for them because of how early and aggressive Fnatic likes to play, and how Fun plus Phoenix, I mean, they've even said it in the interviews. Like, they're just like, oh, we have the best team fight. Well, you're down 5,000 gold. You're not going to win that team fight. Like, no team left in the tournament is that bad.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, is that, like, you look at Tien versus Broxah, like, that's not a matchup that's going to go your way right now. Brox has been so good at the objective control and making sure that his solo laners are there. Like, if Gimgoon was playing better, maybe I would feel a little bit better about it, because Bwipo, I think, is clearly the weak link on this team. Mm-hmm. He's had some games that are just, like, I have no idea what he was doing. Mm-hmm. But, the spot lane just looks too strong, and I think that while I think Doinby is a better mid laner than Nemesis, I don't think he's that much better than
Nemesis. Nemesis is impressed me.
He's a good player.
The thing that scares me is Hylissang's Leona. I don't ever want to see that again.
I don't know.
Pyke is fantastic. Play Pyke. Stay away from Leona, please, and then we'll be okay. You play Leona, that's the game you're losing.
I have no problem with that if it keeps Reckless out of a passive funk, because that's how they lose to me. How they lose is if Reckless falls back on bad habits of, I don't want to lose on this international stage. Hylissang empowers the best of Reckless, even if his individual performance isn't always on point, when he is playing those aggressive supports. I agree. I would love for him to play Pyke this entire time as well. I think that Fun plus Phoenix would be stupid to let him play Pyke. I think that should be a permaban pick if I'm Fun plus.
But then if they do that, so what are they going to do? They're going to permaban Pyke and TF?
I think you bet. Yeah, Pyke, TF. I guess you have to ban Pantheon if you're on red side. Yeah.
Good luck.
What else are you gonna do? I don't know. I mean, you can let Nemesis play. I just don't think you can give Hylissang Pyke. I'm more afraid of Hylissang's Pyke than I am of Nemesis's Twisted Fate. I say, having not seen Nemesis's Twisted Fate and not knowing why people have been banning it like the plague.
I feel like if it's that permaban, like, it's got to be, there's a reason for it, right? So,
as opposed to Hylissang's Pyke, though, like that, we have the tangible proof on stage. Yeah. Very clearly works. I would rather, if we're going to talk about leaving a pick open, that I can't think of a better time than game 1. Leave the Twisted Fate open. See if it is as dangerous.
Yeah. See if they even pick it, right? Maybe you leave the TF open, but you orchestrate some sort of composition that can deal with TF. Like, maybe you take a Shen in the top lane, something that can match the roam.
Right. Something that could really punish the laning phase. I think there are options. I think you can game plan around it and make it so that you really don't want to pick Twisted Fate, or at the very least, make them wait until the second round of bans, and then you can sneak the Twisted Fate ban in. Like, you don't have to do it in the first wave if you kind of position accordingly.
Especially if you don't pick a mid necessarily, because then, or if you pick a really hard counter to a TF as your mid. Like Kassadin is like the traditional really hard TF counter, and he hasn't been. It's not really a pick.
It's not a pick, but Doinby's Kassadin is good. Just saying, Doinby really likes to roam. Good on that champ.
That would be cool. We saw TF Kassadin mid lane. Like, how, man, that would be like a season 2 throwback.
I know, right? I want to root for that. For sure.
I'd be down for that. Make it happen, guys. Make it happen. But yeah, ultimately, I think Fnatic is going to walk away with this series. I mean, this isn't even like I don't even care about the West anymore. Like, if Europe loses, Korea loses, China, I don't care who wins at this point. It's just I don't think FunPlus Phoenix is a very good team. Prove me wrong.
Well, the North American dead inside. I don't care who wins.
I don't care who wins anymore.
This
is all for naught. This is all for naught.
All by myself.
Good God. Why do you do this to me, NA? Why do you do this? The second day had some interesting games. Well, not really, actually. The last series is interesting. SKT Splice, I don't think is interesting at all. I think that's a 3-0.
I think it's a 3-0. Norskarin tweeted out after the pick had gone through, it's been a good run. And I think that's the mentality. Look,
be like honest about it.
Be like Misfits. You have nothing to lose. Throw some weird stuff out there. If you get 3-0'd, you get 3-0'd. If you win any game, people are going to be so hyped. And that's all you need to do. You win one Splice, you will be regarded as heroes. And that'll be the last thing that people remember of the Splice brand. That's a cool way to go out. You're not going to win the series. No. Maybe you get one.
Maybe.
They won't, but they might.
I really doubt it. Like, I just don't. I think SKT is one of those teams. Like, Faker reminds me of LeBron. LeBron James from like.
Yes, I have LeBron James.
he doesn't try in the regular season on defense. It seems like he's just out there. He'll get his points. He'll do his thing, but like he doesn't really care. Then the playoffs come, and LeBron is a different animal. And then the finals come, and the man can break his hand and still be the best player on the court, and no one knows he has a broken hand for the whole series. Like, it's insane. Right. And I think that's kind of what Faker does. Like, he's been playing so long, and he's like, group stage, we'll like turn it up a little bit now. I guess we kind of have to win. Like, these games look good. And then as these brackets go through, like, I think we're going to see just insane. Splice is doomed. Just good luck. Good luck, guys. I wish you the best.
I wish you the best. Yeah. Look, man, have fun. Have fun out there, guys.
Yeah. This is a go team go kind of moment for them. Just try not to hate each other after the series because you're all going to feed. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. Just deal with it.
Yeah. I look forward to memeing on ProView, bringing out the notepad, what is happening, like whatever.
You have that?
I think they have ProView. I don't know if
you have it, because I don't have it. I've been like debating on whether I should get it, but
no, because anything that would be truly meme worthy gets out anyway, right? Like, it'll go viral, because somebody owns it. I found that it's too much to try to keep track of it once, and I just don't have the time to do like the hard-hitting league analysis. Turns out when you're the lead editor of a whole site, your time gets occupied with things other than just single game analysis. I can't. There's no way.
Something I've been like doing a bit more of recently, and it's just so time-consuming. Like, I'll spend like 10 minutes on the picks and bans sometimes. I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Why am I going way into too much depth on this game? But it helps to get back into it a little bit, because I've been kind of out of the saddle for League for probably about a couple of years before I started getting back into it this season. So it's
the best way. If you can keep up on drafts, you can keep up with most of the game. Like, you can kind of you have a good enough idea of how pieces fit, then you'll be in the right spot, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so the last series, which I think is the best series. I think this is the series that a lot of people are going to say, oh, G2's got this. But I think with the way that Damwon played in this group stage and how good Canyon, Naguri, and Showmaker are, I think this is a 5-game series. And I think it's a coin flip on who wins.
I do think it's a 5-game series. I feel a little bit more confidently that G2 is going to win. And I think that at the end of the day, the versatility of what they bring to the table, just the sheer volume of flex picks, what perks is able to do in the bot lane is just, I don't know how Nuclear is supposed to deal with that. Is really the biggest thing. That's not going to work out well. Like that bot lane for G2 is just too good. They'll always have that lane to play around. Showmaker is great, but so is Caps. Right. Nuguri is great, but so is Wonder. I think that if you're Damwon, like you're going to win by playing, you have to assume your 2v2s are better because right now Jankos is looked to be a bit exploitable. That's the play. But you have to snowball those early wins, and that's hard to do against G2. And G2 has proven in this tournament that they can come back from that kind of thing if they absolutely need to. I think that there will be one happy little accident game that G2 will pull out there where they just try too much or go way too hard on an early play that just snowballs against them and whatever, because that's what G2 does. I think they'll have one game where either Nuguri or Showmaker will just go ham. But I think that G2 is the better team. And I think that G2 looked like the better team and came out of a better group. Up until those last two games, for which we have reasons to believe that G2 would not be as sharp there as they would in their other matches. I have faith in them. I think they win this series. But I do think it's going to be close because I think that all G2 series are going to be close because of the way that G2 exists as a team.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think, I definitely have faith in G2. I think they can do it. But Kenyon impressed me so much in this group stage that with Jankos kind of being a little bit off kilter so far that I don't know. I mean, I'm super hyped on this Canyon guy. Like I'm a full believer right now. I think this guy is like one of the best junglers I've seen. Period. I mean, he's just it seems like he's always in the right place at the right time to do the right thing, and his mechanical execution is beautiful. Like he's one of the few people I've seen in this tournament play Lee Sin and make that champion look like it's broken. Like everybody else just kind of sucks on Lee, like you were alluding to earlier. Win rate not great, but you don't want that guy playing Lee Sin. And his Rek'Sai is really good. And it's like everything that he's touched has looked fantastic. And you're like, how do you beat this guy? Like, I mean, there's a reason, obviously, that he's number one on the EU West ladder already. Like, you can just tell his mechanics are on point. His game knowledge is on point. He has great synergy, I think, with all of his lanes. Like, I think when Nuclear and Barrel need his help, he's there. When he can get Showmaker or Nuguri an advantage, he's there. Or if Nuguri is being his greedy, like, klepto Cole on a losing lane matchup self, like, he'll protect him. Like, he's in the right spot. It's just so... Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to go the full 5 games. I'm sitting at like 55-45 G2 though. Like very this is slimmest of margins.
I've got this, I think, into 65-35. And again, it's just because I think that if G2 played to their best, all 5, if you guaranteed me G2 will not troll any drafts, that G2 will not overextend for no reason just to see if they can, I would say this is a 3-1 because I think they are the better team. I think that it's a question of does G2 get out of their own way? And I think that they will ultimately. But look, if I'm wrong, it will be because Korea is the best region in the world again. And 2018 will have proven itself to be a blip in what is otherwise unprecedented dominance of this region for any game that isn't StarCraft 2. That's the level we're hitting if they win 7 out of 8, right? That's what it would be if a Korean team won. 6 out of 7, because season 2 went to Taiwan. So 6 of 7 would still be pretty darn good, especially if 4 of those are Faker, which I think that it will.
Yeah,
I think that's still the team I think is the best team in the world right now. I think. Are you with me on that? Yeah. If you had to pick a champion today, I pick SKT. And I don't hesitate.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. I think just betting against Faker is stupid.